The interesting thing about index performance in a lot of accounts nowadays that they're raising up the participation rate. So they'll say to you, okay, so regular account, you can have 100% participation rate, but Mr. Client, would you like to have more? What, more than 100%? You mean to tell me if S&P 500 did 10%, I can make more than 10%? Mm-hmm. And they said, how's that? How does that do? How does that work? Well, there's a catch, okay? There's a slight catch. So it depends on the company you do business with, it depends on the fund you choose. The company said, okay, if you want to have higher gains on your account, let's say 150%. Okay, how does that work? Well, it works like this. If S&P 500 did a 10% return, remember regular account, if you did 100%, you make 10%, but at 150%, and the market did 10%, if you do the math, 150% of 10%, that means you would get 15% return on your money. Let me repeat. You would get 15% on your return on your money when everybody else is making only 10%. But remember I said to you there's a catch, there's a slight catch, so I need to tell you. Depends on the company, the fund that you pick, and what you do with that. They're going to say, oh, but you have to pay. Well, pay for what? Well, if you want a higher participation rate, you have to pay a fee. Oh, well, how much is the fee? Again, depends on the company, depends on the fund. Let's say in this case, they may charge you 1% fee. Well, if you want a high participation rate, you would have to pay 1% of your investment. So if I have $100,000, that I would pay $1,000. But remember, keep in mind, if the market did a 10% return, I would have made only $10,000 on my $100,000 deal. But at a 15% return, I made $15,000 credit to my account. So the question for me to you is it worth it to make $15,000 and pay $1,000 in fees? I think so, right? Well, what happened if the market didn't do that? Well, you can still have the fee 1% because that's the deal you made with the insurance investment firm. You understand? So I want to make sure that clearly understand. But